and thank you for joining us.
No, my pleasure, man.
So, your piece, we want to talk today about the artwork that you made for Artisan Protest, uh, Fabric of America Artisan Protest. And I just wanted to say before we start, today we lost a civil rights leader, someone that's been protesting his whole life, John Lewis. Here he is being confronted by police. This man dedicated his life to making the world a better place for African Americans and really for everybody here in the United States. A tremendous loss, and just wanted to say, acknowledge his transition.
Absolutely. Rest in peace.
Your piece is forced labor.
Yeah.
And so can you get into why you chose forced labor as the message, your protest message?
Sure. So there's so many causes I could stand behind, honestly. Right now, it's just a very tumultuous time, and there's a lot of rage. I mean, people are angry. My overarching struggle in life and what I've seen the most, I think, tyranny is monetary. I feel like the confines we have that are the most invisible are just, they're not even invisible, but sometimes we don't know. It's just, money is way too powerful of an influence in our lives. And it's like, it's hard to point a finger. I mean, definitely, there's a certain segment of society that's, you could consider on top. I'm sure they're stressed as fuck too, though. One percenters. I mean, the small few little interactions I've had with those types of people, they don't seem like they're all together either. But I feel like the biggest oppressor is that monetary system, and how we give our best years, we give everything to just this pursuit and materialism, and it's like it's a trap. I mean, it's totally a trap. If you're doing, if your day-to-day energy is consumed with just making money, it's really a tireless effort that you're gonna for me, every job, every project, it's always like, do this and then commission my own piece. And I feel like the struggle economically on every level of society, I mean, everyone is, even in their largest gilded cage, I mean, everyone is feeling it at some level. And it's used to oppress. So I try to make it as clear as possible illustration, so I wouldn't have to like talk it through. I think it definitely gets the point across if you look at it, but hopefully that shares a little bit of the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, I think what you're hitting on is something that impacts and affects us all very deeply as members of society. And your piece, talks about that. You see the money sort of symbols, the dollar signs coming out of the pipes, and you see these images of children holding up, love and peace symbols, and it looks like they're about to go through this machine, these pipes, which is a very strong statement about what the purpose of life is.
Yeah, I mean, I know you feel the same way. You want to go out in the street and protest and just give your time to causes, and it ends up being, well, I have to get back to work. I have to, and it seems like the more we tack on as we get older, the more responsibilities, it just becomes less and less like free time to really pursue our own passions. And I've been fortunate, and you too. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to kind of get our careers in line with what we want to do, and you make a living off of it. But it's a constant challenge, on every single day on some way, whether it be, you're working with a client, and they're telling you, they're basically commissioning you, so they have a say in what the output's going to be. Or if you're an artist and you want to go big and make a lot of money, you're just like, you have to, at some level, you have to start commodifying. You can't be inconsistent, and that's a sacrifice artistically. An artist should just never think about coming up with some visual brand to push their work. It's not about that, you know. It's an expression. So I just see it all the time, and that's why I chose that subject. Because I think if we can liberate ourselves from that, if we can just be aware of what that trap is, it could help everything. You know, we're unified, we're one. And under that oppression, we're all one. We can all stand behind that struggle. You know, everyone can understand that. So I think right now we need to find those things that really keep us together as a society, as a you know, as one.
I agree with you. I wanted to also share with the viewers, since we have such limited time with you today, just some of your work so that folks can be aware of who you are and some of the pieces that you've contributed here in Miami over the years. So I selected a couple of works just to sort of bring it back to your own practice, both on the street and in the studio, and with a variety of styles. And so here you create these style pieces that sort of break from convention, letter convention. Can you tell us a little bit about this and this particular style?
Sure. So everything really for me has always come down to drawings. You know, when I draw, I get really loose, but I get technical, and I can find just new pathways to kind of make these things happen. So with these characters, I mean, I've been doing these characters forever. So it's not like, I mean, they're new, but they're not like it's like a lineage that ties back, you know, 20 plus years of my work. I like to do these drawings, these free flow drawings, and just kind of like, just get it out. And then I look at it and I kind of work back into it. And it's always like, as a trained illustrator, I can go look at a reference and I can draw what I look at, but then I also just like completely divorce that and just go freestyle. And this is a situation where I go freestyle, but I keep light in mind. I'm like, where's the light coming from? So they're basically, just to give you a background on what this project you're looking at is this is the Marlins. They sponsored us. This is on Calle Ocho to do like a piece that kind of like, it was totally open-ended. They didn't give us direction. They just gave us a color palette to say something. And I'm not really into sports, so I just chose these failed mascots. Like, these are the mascots that got like shut down. They weren't picked. So they're having a colada, and you know, to explain the style, I mean, it comes from drawing. I busted out a drawing, and then I liked it and I worked on it, and then I just blew it up. Spray paint. I always come in with a little brush, if I can, because I just like the softness and mainly the palette of acrylic and water-based paint on the wall. I like that.
I love it. It's a very Miami piece.
Thanks.
So I have a few more that I wanted to share that shows, again, the style changing and evolving, and your playfulness.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, having fun is a priority for sure. Like, I love to see letters, man. Letters are, I'm not really known for my letters because I do so many other things, but you know, letters are so liberating. You know, there's like, it's just something that, like, it's almost like an accessible thing that anybody on any level of the art, like if they're just a toy and they want to get into it, it's like, start playing with letters. My kid, I'm teaching him, he's 3, I'm teaching him letters right now, and it's just like, they never get boring. And this KRAVE piece was really just like one of those pieces where I was like I knew everyone was going to come in for Basel and just start tearing the walls up and doing all their things. And I was like, yo, I'm representing Miami here. And I just did it with the letters there.
I love it. And then but you're also, like you mentioned, you're also an illustrator.
Yeah, for sure. So I got my degree in illustration, graphic, just growing up, and what got me into art in the first place. And then I studied illustration because I was into like visual problem solving. I didn't want to study fine art. I didn't think that was something that could be taught anyway. But I was attracted to you know, the Norman Rockwell, like, you want to tell a story, you want to, you know, send a message, you want to communicate to a group of people. So that's how, when I merged graffiti with illustration, it really like, and the timing in 2002 when I did that, it worked out for me because Art Basel was coming in, people were really getting into street art, and I was noticing that I'm in the right place in the right time. So you're looking at Killer Bee right now. Killer Bee, okay, so the Killer Bee is one of my, it's like a quintessential piece of mine. It's definitely that character on the left that you were just looking at. I mean, everyone, like the bee's the star of the show, but that character on the left, that's Crave right there. That's totally, that's like if I draw for myself when no one's looking type shit. Like that guy is totally my shit. Um, and it's kind of like not a self portrait, but basically like you're the character on the right is like stinging me, but I still love him. I still want him in, and it's like it's kind of like a duality piece.
Sure. And then your bee has on a mask, which I thought was very much ties into the moment that we're in.
For sure. Got to re-release that print.
Exactly. It works right now. And so you went and got a degree in illustration, got into painting in the studio, but you also, like you're saying, you painted in the streets and you do some pretty big pieces.
Yeah. Uh, so I'm a writer, and like the beginning of my career was, damn, I got to get on a wall. Like you get no credit, you get no rep, you can't do anything unless you hit a wall. And it was like '95 when I was like, oh, I was getting good in books, so I started to get a little ego. But then people would tear me down real quick, like, yeah, but you don't. He's a paper boy. He's a paper boy. So I was like, oh yeah. It was like that was like a huge drive. I was just like, okay, I'm a paper boy. Call me that. And then I went to the penance, and I just got real weird and real big, and I just got a handle on it. I got real comfortable with it, and I saw my mom join. What's up, Mom? Got to give credit to my mom. She came to one of the pennants. She came to the airport pennant because she was afraid. She was super scared. She was like, "Why are you going? Where are you going? What is this pennant place?" She heard me on the phone, like sneaking out with backpacks. And one day she's like, "All right, enough. Just take me. I want to see what it is." So she fucking hopped the fence with me. Oh shit, Mom, you're the best. And
That is
we went up into the airport pennant, and she saw that it was like, oh, this is great. Like her whole thing was just like, don't get caught, just don't get caught. So big ups to that lady. So yeah, you showed the Sunbather piece. I mean, that's definitely one of my most famous pieces because of Michael Bay and Pain and Gain and how they put that in there. But going big is nothing. It's not like it used to be. I mean, now we have the technology. I mean, I'm not talking about projectors. I'm talking about spray paint. I mean, shit, dude. Hit up a dude in the 90s and the 70s to go do a big mural and shit. That's hell no. Now that's where our margins were forever. Like we had money because it was like, oh, do a wall 200 feet long, no problem. Charge X amount of money, and that's where we made our money. So this COVID era is going to be interesting because now it's like that margin's not there now. So
it is definitely a very strange time to be a muralist and a working artist and try to and get jobs when things are shut down. A lot of projects, a lot of businesses are closing. And so I think that you've seen and been able to really benefit from a city that's been explosive and growing and an art scene that's expanding. We'll see what happens, in the next few months. I feel like we're living in a very unknown time. And unfortunately, arts and entertainment and music are suffering. So I hope that we all get through this in a really good way and positive. I mean, I feel optimistic about the future, but we'll see what actually holds up. And so, by the way, the story about your mom taking you to the pennant and jumping the fence is truly amazing. You don't really hear that stuff. And so, when people come to the museum, we get into this story and this history about the criminalization of this art form and how we paint at night or paint in the shadows and hidden and try to find these locations where it's safe, and how we've been demonized by politicians, by teachers, and sometimes that impacts our parents and makes our parents worry and not want to support artistic pursuits.
yeah,
And so your mom supporting you and going out there is to be commended.
yeah, for sure. I mean, the perception of graffiti. I mean, it's always been laden with like, I mean, it's a lot of different entities that that painted a picture badly of it. But a lot of like our own kind of, the ones that just go like mad ignorant on the street. I respect bombers. I love bombing, but you know, it's hard to get a respect for an art form sometimes when people are just bombing like mom and pop windows and shit and just nuts. Like, so it's, yeah, it's definitely, you know, it's tricky to keep graffiti's legacy positive all the time, and it is demonized a lot. What's weird now is that it's so celebrated, and I give credit to people like you, man. I much respect to you, because you've taken it to this point now, and you've really like you're trying to legitimize it on a whole new level, and you're getting a lot of support within the community. I mean, so many writers are down with this thing you're doing, and yeah, I'm definitely one of them. I think it's great. I think we need this platform to push forward, and it's now going to be, you know, it's our time. So as you brought a point up, like, you know, you don't know what the future has to hold. I think the main thing is that we're going to make that future, and it's scary as fuck to be just looking into the void right now, but we have such an opportunity at hand, you know, and the fact that social justice has never been such an important factor is good. And it's really a chance for us to paint ourselves, you know, in the light that we want to be seen in now. Graph is huge now. Graph is accepted. Graph, you know, it's still got some baggage to it, but you got it in every collection now. There's like, you know, there's every graffiti artists have definitely hit every level of the art world, and they're major communicators now in society.
It's amazing how far we've come. I mean, we have over 50 years of history in this movement, and to see, you know, the scale of art that's created, the level of technique, the artistry, you know, all of it, it's really, really, truly amazing. I would have never imagined it to be this way.
For real.
Kids just running around the streets and
never
sneaking
thinking
into
about
places.
A career choice. It was never a career choice. It was just like, fucking, this is it. This is what I got to do. And thank God, you know, thank God it all worked out. So let's just stick together and bring this shit up. And it's about relationships, man. We're going to hold each other together for sure, you know?
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much, KRAVE, for joining us today, for spending some time with us and sharing your story and contributing to the exhibition. A wonderful piece, really important message that you're sharing about, you know, the rat race and sort of labor and, you know, our life and valuing our life more than just money and working. And so I appreciate you, and I appreciate your work. Thank you for continuing to contribute to the city and to making wonderful art. I love bumping into it everywhere we go, and Miami is very prolific. And for everybody that's listening and that's out there, we just spent a few minutes talking to KRAVE, aka Daniel Fila, an amazing Miami painter, writer, contemporary artist, muralist, who's part of the fabric of art here in Miami, and speaking about his work and the exhibition that we've opened up at the Museum of Graffiti today, Fabric of America, Artists in Protest. We are open. Please visit us if you're local. If you're not local and you are online, go to the museumofgraffiti.com. The exhibition is there. You can see the virtual space and check out all the works. And if you are a fan of Daniel, of this movement, of graffiti art, if you want to learn more, we have an amazing gift shop with books, with art, with prints, with all kinds of stuff to bring into your home. It helps the artists. It helps us stay alive. And we appreciate you guys. Daniel, thanks again. My brother, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see each other soon.
See you soon, brother. Peace.
Peace. Everybody, we will continue the art talks up next. We have drums in a few minutes. Check back in.